Is copying someone else's art actually a bad thing to do? If you ask most beginner artists this question, you'll get one of these two answers. Either no, never, that's stealing, or a guilty, maybe I still do it anyways. And I think both of those answers come from the same place. Nobody ever actually explained what copying is for. So let's break this down properly because I think this is one of the most misunderstood topics in art, especially for beginners who are just trying to figure out how any of this works. Here's the scenario: you're a few weeks into digital art, you open Pinterest, you find a piece you love, and some part of your brain goes, I want to draw that. So you do. You copy the pose, the colors, maybe even the exact composition, and then this wave of guilt hits you. Am I even allowed to do this? Is this cheating? Am I ever going to be a real artist if all I do is copy? If that's ever been you, I want you to actually hear this next part. For centuries, copying wasn't just a shortcut for art student. It was the entire curriculum. Young apprentices in Renaissance workshop didn't start by inventing original paintings. They spent years copying their master's work, brushstroke by brushstroke, before they were even allowed to sign their own name to a piece. Artists like Da Vinci and Degas built their skill the exact same way, sitting in front of someone else's finished work and trying to understand how they got there. And this isn't just an old world tradition either. Art educators today still point to the same core benefits. Copying trains you to actually see accurately. Instead of drawing what you actually think a face or a hand look like from your memory, it builds a real foundation in proportion, shading, and color. Because you're reverse engineering decisions someone more skilled that you already made. And the word reverse engineering is really the whole point. When you copy a piece properly, you're not just tracing what you see. You're tracing to work backwards to every choice the artist had made. Why is that shadow that shape and not softer? Why did they pick that particular color for the reflected light instead of just duller version of that skin tone? Why does the hair have 3 values instead of 5? Every one of these questions has an own answer. And the only way to find that is by sitting there and trying to recreate it by yourself. This is actually easier for us as digital artists than it has ever been for anyone else before. Traditional painters copying the masters would only guess at layering order or brush technique from the finished canvas. We can zoom in pixel by pixel, pick colors directly off a reference, isolate values, and rebuild a piece layer by layer to understand exactly how someone constructed it. That's not cheating, that's just studying with better. So, if copying is genuinely this useful, why does it feel so wrong? Because there's a difference between copying to learn and copying to deceive. The moment you take someone else's finished piece and post it as your own original work, that's not learning anymore. That's just taking credit for someone else's decision. That's the part people are actually uncomfortable with. And honestly, they're right to be. But that's a completely different thing from opening a reference, studying how an artist built their shadows or picked their palette, and using that to train your own hand. So here's the actual answer. Copying isn't the problem. What you do with it is. So if you're a beginner, especially if you're just starting out painting with nothing but a mouse like I do, copying a piece isn't going to make you less of an artist. It's going to teach you things a blank canvas will never. Because right now you don't have 30 years of intuition to fall back on. You need something to reverse engineer. So copy the color palette, copy the pose, try to understand why an artist placed an highlight exactly where they did instead of somewhere else. But do it as a study, not as a finished piece you pass off as original. Label it for yourself as practice. Learn from it, then put it away and paint something that's actually yours using what you've just picked up. Do that enough times with enough different artists and something interesting happens. You stop copying any one person because you've absorbed a little bit from all of them. And what comes out the other side is just you. Nobody creates in a vacuum. Every artist you admire was influenced by someone before them. The goal was never to avoid influence entirely. It was to make sure enough of it passes through your own hands that what comes out of the other side is something only you could have ever made. So, next time you feel guilty about studying someone else's work, don't. Just make sure you're doing it to learn, not to take shortcuts around actually getting better. That's it for today. If you're still scared to even open or use your mouse and start painting, that's probably a video I need to make next. Let me know down below.